Hi, I'm Dr. Tom Hanson from PlayBigBaseball.com, and I just wanted to share with you a question. I've received a number of questions lately, and I thought I'd pick one out in sort of a first episode of Ask Dr. Tom. So here's a question that I got from a guy named Kevin, who's a 10U coach. He says, "Hello, Dr. Tom. Can you offer suggestions for constructive discipline? For example, when the team or player behaves improperly on the field or in the dugout. Something that helps with team bonding that is more creative than running wind sprints or suicides. Thanks, Coach Kevin." All right, so I want to use this opportunity, Kevin, to use this illustration, one of my favorites. You're familiar with this, I'm sure. It's an illusion. The two lines are actually the same length, but they look different, and it's hard to just pull you pull your mind and say, yeah, they're the same, but it's a little bit of work to do that, and that's because of this context. Context in the con here means that which gives meaning to the text. So in this case, the context of these lines is such that the lines have different meanings in that they occur differently. And so it is with your team, in that for me just to say, oh, do this, that's giving you text. But context trumps text. Context is very important, but the context, and in this context, I'm referring to it as the relationship. What is the relationship and the meaning that both you and the members of the team have? What is the context? Each relationship with each player, of course, is a little bit different. But for me just to say, oh, do this, is a little bit presumptive. And that's where I have a hard time just giving 1, 2, 3, here's what you should do with your team. One idea I do have, though, is to consider that you're asking the wrong person, that you could ask them. So ideally, you set out front a mission for the team. Here's what we're about. Here are our values, and go through that in a couple of different courses, actually. But given you have that, you have a conversation with the team. Okay, when someone acts outside of what we've agreed upon, what would be the consequence? What would be a fair and just and helpful consequence for that person or for the team? And have a conversation about it. Another way of looking at this context-wise is if you have A stands for adult and C stands for child. Normally you have an adult-child, the normal coaching is adult-child relationship. Now, I'm not saying that a 10U team, you just let them run the team and you give up all your authority and just treat them as adults. But you do want to be mindful of creating a respectful relationship and creating an ability for them to take responsibility for themselves. That's a big reason why I would want someone to be playing baseball and to be coaching, is to help people become more responsible human beings so that they can create a life that they love. So asking them puts it back on them and seeing what they come up. I've done this a lot of times, and it often ends up that they're much more difficult on themselves, much more severe consequences than I would have given. So I don't recommend that you do this in the crisis time, and you might do that. You still can, but the ideal time would be well before anything happens. So it's an agreed upon consequence, and you're able to just say, okay, guys, here it is. We talked about this, and now this is happening, and now here's the consequence. So that's my thought, and also to broaden it out into parent-child, literally parent with your child, just looking at the relationship, the context of it, and see if you can't ask some more questions and draw out from the player to educate, the root of the word. If we're looking at word roots, educate is to draw out, to pull out. So see if you can pull out from them thoughts that then you can both work with, and it becomes a little bit more of an adult context in the relationship. So there you go. Thank you very much for your question, Kevin. And if you have other questions or follow up on this one or a question about something else regarding the mental game of baseball, send them in or comment below. Thank you.